Mothflight is a white she-cat with green eyes. She was born into a group that lived on the moor, led by Tallstar, and her parents were the cats who had become the first two leaders of WindClan, Windrunner and Gorspur. There were 4 kits total in the litter: Mothflight, Dustmuzzle, Morning Whisker, and Emberkit, but sadly 2 of them died while they were still small kits. Mothflight's brother Emberkit didn't survive his first day, while their sister Morning Whisker got sick not long after. Windrunner began to feel that if she had never joined the moor group, perhaps her kits would have survived, so she and Gorspur brought Mothflight and Dustmuzzle to a new home of their own on the moor. Although Windrunner's original intention was just to have a safe place for their family, eventually they began to grow into a group of their own as friendly rogues joined them. The kits led a peaceful life there, away from the squabbles that were taking place among the groups and rogues of the forest. As she grew, Mothflight often found herself at odds with their family. Dustmuzzle sometimes said she was too silly, and Windrunner in particular was often annoyed at the way she kept getting distracted when she was supposed to be hunting. Mothflight did train to fight and hunt alongside her brother, but she was also interested in helping injured cats. Eventually, the 5 groups of the forest became known as clans, and their group became known as WindClan. Although Mothflight's mother was their clan's leader, she certainly didn't get any special treatment from her. Rather, Mothflight felt that her mother expected her to be an example to the clan, and it was difficult to live up to this. The worst of it came one day in New Leaf. Mothflight accidentally fell asleep when she was supposed to be watching Slate's kits, and Windrunner scolded her in front of the clan. Then they went hunting, and Mothflight kept missing prey. Finally, she saw a moth, and feeling that it was important, began to follow it, which resulted in her father Gorspur having to save her from the Thunderpath. Windrunner was furious and told Mothflight that the clan would be better off without her. Mothflight ran off, feeling that she needed time alone to think. On her own now, Mothflight had dreams of a glittering rock and spirit cats, and she chose to follow her moth wherever it led. During her journey, she encountered some farm cats, and one of them, Micah, said he had been dreaming of Mothflight, and he could see the moth too. He joined her on her mission, and finally it led them to a cave at Highstones. There, Mothflight found the glittering rock she had been dreaming about, as well as the spirit cats. They explained to Mothflight that even though she had difficulties in things like hunting and fighting, she had strengths that her clanmates did not, which made her perfect for a new role in the clans. She would be the first medicine cat, responsible for healing her clanmates and speaking to the spirit cats. Although she was nervous about bringing this news to the rest of the forest, especially her mother, her lost littermates Emberkit and Morning Whisker appeared to her and encouraged her. When Mothflight returned, all 5 clans were holding a gathering at Fort Trees. She shared her news with them and pointed out the medicine cats of the other clans, and once the spirits sent a sign for everyone to see, the clans believed her. Windrunner was relieved to see her return and treated her with a new respect. The new medicine cats met at the Glittering Stone, the Moonstone, for the first time at the next half moon, and it was there that Mothflight first called the spirits Star Clan. The medicine cats started learning about herbs from each other, and Mothflight spent a lot of time with Micah, who had been chosen by Star Clan as the first Sky Clan medicine cat. Their time together was much too short, however. Micah died in an accident while trying to stop a fight between their clanmates. Before he passed, he had enough time to say goodbye, and Mothflight told him that she loved him. She spent at least a moon grieving, but life went on. She was shocked and then comforted to learn that she was expecting Micah's kids. She gave birth to 4 of them: Spiderpaw, Honeypelt, Bubbling Stream, and Blue Whisker. She didn't get to spend as much time with them as she wanted to, however, due to her duties as the clan's medicine cat. One of their clanmates grew deathly ill, and then tensions between WindClan and SkyClan finally erupted into battle, where Windrunner was badly wounded. Mothflight spent the next few days trying to split her time between her kits and her injured mother as Windrunner's condition worsened. This didn't work too well. The kits were able to sneak off, and Spiderpaw nearly drowned in the river. Mothflight feared that her mother would die, and then the green moth appeared to her again, leading her once more to Highstones. She felt that following it would save Windrunner's life, and so she and her brother brought their dying mother to the Moonstone. StarClan met them there and explained to Mothflight that they had a gift for Windrunner. They performed a ceremony, and at the end, Windrunner seemed to die, and then she came back to life, her wounds healed. She was the first leader to receive the gift of 9 lives, and StarClan gave her a new leader's name, Windstar. In the next few days, Mothflight came to accept that she couldn't give her full attention to both her kits and her medicine cat duties, and that this put everyone in danger. It was a difficult decision, but she knew that being a medicine cat was her destiny, and ultimately she made the painful choice of giving up her kits, one to each clan, hoping that their bond would ensure peace between the 5 clans. Furthermore, she decided no medicine cat should ever have kits, as they should dedicate themselves fully to their clan and StarClan. StarClan themselves confirmed this, requiring all the medicine cats to pledge not to take a mate, and Mothflight knew that this meant that she could no longer share dreams with Micah. From then on, her life and dreams would belong to StarClan. Mothflight spent many seasons serving the clans as a medicine cat right into old age, and eventually she began to have dreams that she'd join StarClan soon. One day, she met her son Spiderpaw of RiverClan on the border, and the two of them decided to visit her daughter Blue Whisker in ThunderClan, who ended up having kits while they were there. They were joined not long after by Mothflight's remaining 2 kits, Honeypelt and Bubbling Stream, making it the first time that the 5 of them were reunited since the day she gave them up, and the last time that they'd all be together before she died. She made sure they knew how proud of them she was, and then saw her moth again, knowing that it would be time to move on before long. She went to StarClan happy and fulfilled, and finally got to reunite with her love, Micah. The clans remembered Mothflight in her story for many moons to come, and though she seemed to fade over time, she still stuck around in StarClan. Many, many seasons after her death, Mothflight visited a new Wind Clan leader, Heatherstar, at the end of her leader ceremony. Mothflight warned her that one day, one of Heatherstar's warriors would wander, and that Heatherstar should let him go in order to let him figure out where he truly belonged. This warrior ended up being Talltail, and after returning home from his journey, he went on to become Heatherstar's successor as leader of Wind Clan. Mothflight was part of his 9-life ceremony, and she gave him his 4th life, which came with a unique gift, a sense of adventure that would let him face challenges with determination. Many seasons after that, after the clans had moved to a lake and SkyClan had rejoined them there, Mothflight had another role to play in StarClan. 2 she-cats from ThunderClan, Squirrelflight and Leafpool, were badly injured and on the verge of death, and StarClan chose to hold a trial to determine whether they'd be allowed to join. Leafpool was a medicine cat who had broken the rule about having kits, while Squirrelflight had helped her keep the secret. Mothflight was one of the judges. She was angry that her rule had been broken, and dismissive of the fact that Leafpool's kits had helped save the clans from the Dark Forest, and it seemed to Squirrelflight that Mothflight was determined to keep Leafpool out of StarClan. Whatever Mothflight felt about the matter, however, it was ultimately determined that the 2 would be allowed to stay. Whether Mothflight's rule for the medicine cats was the right choice is debatable, but her contributions to the forest are undeniable. Mothflight began as a young cat who didn't seem to fit in, and thanks to following her heart, she ended up as a legendary figure with a lasting legacy.